Hey, welcome to In My Honest Opinion. I am Banshee. These film reviews are mine, my honest thoughts and opinions, spoiler free as much as possible. Today, I'm actually reviewing Avengers Infinity War. Infinity War is directed by Anthony and John Russo. You're going to know those names, of course, because they've directed a couple of the Marvel films now in the Civil War, Winter Soldier. Not only that, they've also screenwriters and producers on the shows Community and Arrested Development. So unless you've been living under a rock, you've every idea what Avengers Infinity War is. It's been an absolute 10-year build-up. So many films, so many heroes introduced, all to lead to this big, massive film. It's a cast of thousands, so they say, so I'm not going to go through everyone, but you know who they are. The Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Star-Lord, the list goes on. Everyone from the Marvel Studios universe. So what is Infinity War all about? Well, basically, as you know, Thanos, he wants to destroy half the universe to make it better. To do so, though, he needs the Infinity Stones. So there's 6 stones. You've got the Space Stone, Reality Stone, Power Stone, Mind Stone, Time Stone, and finally the Soul Stone. So all stones are currently being held, or people know where they are, all except for the Soul Stone. The Avengers' job, of course, is to stop him. And that's Infinity War. Big thing about this film is that everyone has been anticipating it. And there's a lot of build-up for this movie. And the first thing you're going to think is how many of these egos can they get into one film and still keep the film stable? You'd be surprised, but they actually do a fucking really good job. That was my biggest concern. How are we going to go with all these egos? It blew me away. Like, they've done really well. The direction of this film, the way the story is told, is fantastic. There's so many, it's about 5 different films going on at once, all with their own little hero squads to make the movie whole. Now, normally in films like that, you do get quite lost, or you get sort of pissed off because of one storyline you're not enjoying, so you want to go back to the other. Well, the directors here, they've done such a good job about keeping you captivated, to keep you wanting more and expecting more. It's a 2.5-hour film, so it is bloody long, but you don't actually get that impression. The number one thing about this film is it's a film made for the fans. If you don't know Marvel, you don't know their universe, you're probably not going to enjoy this film. You're going to be spending half the time thinking, who's this wanker? What's this bitch doing? Why the fuck are these people on the screen? In saying that, though, people I went to see the film with actually hadn't seen things like Black Panther, I know, shock horror, as well as, a couple of other films that have been released to introduce the universe. Yet they still enjoyed the film. I think my biggest letdown for this film was the loss of a couple of characters. These are big names in the Marvel cinema universe, yet they get like a one-line throwaway to sort of say where they are. Well, 2 of them do anyway. A few other big heroes that you expect to come through get nothing. The other thing, of course, is you've got Fox Studios. So we all know how huge Marvel is. You've got your X-Men, your Fantastic Four, your Avengers, your Silver Surfers, all these characters who just can't make this film because another studio owns the rights. I mean, I honestly feel if Deadpool was in this film, it would have gone a completely different level. So maybe it was a good thing that he wasn't, I don't know. But there's so many other Marvel heroes who could have had an impact. not much you can do. I mean, the studios own this, own that, but for me, that was one thing that was really missing. I mean, Xavier steals the show so many times in the comics, yet he can't do a thing here. I guess the biggest thing about this film is heroes die. And it can be quite daunting a little bit, you know, like these people that you sort of grew up with and that you've learned and you admire and you respect, and then you see them die on the screen. I mean, it really touches you here. But there's one particular scene, and no spoilers like I said, but between Spidey and Iron Man that really almost teared me up. You know, it was a pretty good scene. But you're not going to see Infinity War without expecting that. So the positives, Thanos, the CGI was amazing. You know, like I didn't know from past history how they're going to go with the Josh Brolin as Thanos with the CGI, but it works perfectly. So much so that I actually really liked the character. I mean, I was even rooting for him for a little bit. But even though he does want to destroy the universe and sort of stop creation and all this type of stuff, but there was still this human element to the great big purple dude that you just had to admire and respect. I think they did a fantastic job with Thanos. The CGI there, yes, you could tell it was CGI. There's no mistaking that, but it was done very well. Unlike other moments of the CGI, as we all know, these films have a lot of CGI and it can fuck up a lot of them. The one thing they do that annoys the crap out of me, though, is that whole shaky camera bullshit. I fucking hate it. I despise it. And just about every single battle scene, that happened. So that really pissed me off too. But again, this is filmmaking now. It's the only way they can cover up all the bullshit CGI when it does look really fake and, you know, just unwatchable. So you got to give and take, right? Look, overall, Infinity War is a fantastic film. It's probably not for the young kids. Like I said, there is a lot of death. There's no like language as such, well, nothing bad in language as such anyway. It's definitely a film worth seeing if you're a fan. And if you're not, you will still get something out of it. That I can guarantee. I thought long and hard, and I'm actually giving Infinity War 4 out of 5. Only for those few things that I said, you know, the CGI, the shaky camera, and the missing actors. I know a lot of it's not their fault, but that still stops it getting a 5 out of 5 for me. Can't wait for the sequel. Make sure you stay to the end, because that's a huge drop. The very final credits, okay? Don't leave just when the credits start rolling like you used to do. There's only one end credit scene until the very final bit. Don't miss it, because it sets up not only a future movie, but future happenings for Infinity War Part 2. As always, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Love how you get behind me and watch these things. Like, share, comment, do whatever you must do. Like I said, I really appreciate it. Talk to you again soon. Thanks. Bye.